Hello again and welcome back to some climbing news. Not all that much happened last week, and then suddenly whole climbing world went on a ascending spree over the weekend, which is just great. I don't know, such is life. But with that said, got a whole lot of stuff to talk about, so start the show. And starting us off today, let's talk about Laura Rogora sending her 12th ever 9A/514D route Il Terzo Occhio. It's Italian. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know Italian, but it's a route which she apparently bolted alongside Stefano Ghisolfi and Adamandra in 2022. And look, at this point, Laura Rogora climbing 9A is starting to become kind of commonplace, to the point that it's easy to forget that most women just don't do that. Like, we're talking, Anna Verhoeven has 9 9As, Paige Klassen has 5, and then Eva Hammelmuller and Michaela Kirsch have 4 of them. It's not the norm, yet, unless you're Laura, where, you know, sending 9A is becoming so freaking normal and commonplace. She was even able to do this thing while she had the flu. It was apparently running a fever. And look, I'm a man, clearly, and as a man, it is my duty to be as overdramatic as I possibly can be whenever I feel slightly sick. If I have the flu, now if I have a cold, I'm not moving out of bed. Maybe I will move to a couch. But what I'm sure as shit not doing is sending 9 freaking A. That's just ridiculous. She called it an FFA for first fever ascent, which is just hilarious and makes me kind of sad. And yeah, that was what, like 3 days ago? Even yesterday, she had yet another monster of a session on sighting, that's right, on sighting an 8C514B route, which context, again, is something incredibly rare and difficult to do. Like Stefano Ghisolfi, he only has a single 8C on sight under his belt. She then proceeded to get the first ascent of L'Ultimo Rughito, which, she proposed 9A514D, and she did it second go. Yeah, you guys remember when I made a whole segment talking about how big of a deal it was that Michaela Kirsch was out there getting hard first ascents? Here's Laura getting her second ever 9A first ascent, and she does it second go. And she finished this insanity of a day by sending another 8C, one called Lo Squalo di Macerata. I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure. Good on Laura. Look, I know Brooke has sent 9B+, which in most people's eyes clearly makes her the strongest outdoor woman climber, but Laura's tick list with 2 9Bs, 6 9A+, and now 13 9As is really not anything to laugh about. It's amazing stuff. But let me know what you guys think in the comment. Is Laura the greatest female outdoor climber in the world right now? Outdoor sport climber. And then let's move on to Germany, where Yannick Flohé has just sent the route Corona in the Frankenjura. And actually, Corona is a pretty famous route, super well known for being the first 9A+ 515A in Germany, a climb that was sent by Marcus Bach back in 2006, and which was subsequently repeated by Adamandra in 2009, when he did it in 8 tries, which is just one of those things where you just have to, like, tip your hat, or I don't even know. Adam freaking Andra was sending 9A+ routes in 8 goes at a time, when just sending 9A+ put you on the list of best climbers in the world. Can someone make that make sense? This dude's been at the forefront of climbing for way too damn long. It's not even funny. Anyways, yeah, not a lot of info from Yannick as far as how long he took to do this thing. Just know that he's actually given the route a slash grade for whatever reason, but good on him for being honest, and it is what it is. There's a cool video of him doing the whole thing on the gram. Link to it is down below as always. Go check it out if you got time on your hands. And seeing as how we're talking legendary Frankenjura routes, Satone Yoshida just sent Action Directe, which is the world's first 9A 514D. Though the world's first thing is kind of weird in climbing, since things get retrograded, whatever. Now people think the first could be Hubble, could not be, we don't know. Shit's weird, y'all. But anyways, the grade itself shouldn't matter. What matters is the history and the route's importance. If you don't know, this thing was first sent by Wolfgang Gulich back in the 90s. Dude invented the campus board in order to send, which is just radical. And yeah, man, if I was Satone Yoshida and I was strong enough to send Action Directe, I'd be so psyched. And speaking of world famous 9As or 514Ds, Ryan Sklenica just reported he sent Dreamcatcher. Yeah, all the way on the other side of the world in Squamish, Chris Sharma's ultra famous King line that'll probably leave your left heel hook feeling real nice and sore has gotten another repeat. Left heel hook, more like hamstring. Whatever. It's sick. Like this is yet another line that you just see and go like, that's sick. Plus, it's also just on a gigantic ass boulder too, which is even more cool in my opinion. Don't really know why that makes it cooler, but it kind of does. Maybe it's because I'm a boulderer and I love boulders at heart. It's a big ass boulder on the side of a mountain. What's not to love about that? Tops out too, which is optional, but just like, I don't know, it was way more awesome in my opinion. Nobody likes drop down stuff, and that's all sport climbing. One of the reasons why sport climbing sucks. I'm not sorry. Anyways, Ryan sent this thing first go of the day after projecting it on various trips he took since 2021. So much well-deserved congratulations to him. And yeah, dude, quick hits. And that's that. Let's move on. Look at this. So we're flowing. We're talking about Frankenura first. We do the hardest route there. Then we do legendary 9A in the Frankenura. Then legendary 9A in Squamish by Chris Sharma. Now we're talking about another legendary climb by Sharma, but in Mallorca. There's a through line, yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's Pontas. This Pontas just got repeated. And honestly, man, this gets me so freaking psyched, okay? Because so many new climbers out there have never even heard of Espontas or even know what it is, and yet I think it's probably one of the most legendary climbs to ever be done, like ever. So Espontas, it's a deep water solo in Mallorca. It was first sent by Chris Sharma a ways back in this video right here, which if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Seriously, go right now. Stop watching this and go. I don't care about my view count. What's this gonna do to my algorithm? Whatever the fuck. I don't care. You need to watch that video. I won't spoil stuff, but just like click away and come back, and then we'll do spoilers in like 3, 2, 1. Okay. Thing features probably the most psychotically sick dyno ever, right? Because, you know, it's a big ass one-arm jump when you're, I don't even know how many feet over the water. Meters over the water makes a lot more sense. It's absolutely terrifying. Water hurts a lot, and deep water soloing, if you've never done it, is terrifying. The freaking balls you gotta have to commit to throwing backwards like that is just, okay, anyways, I haven't even said who sent. Samuel Richard, kid's like what, 18? He's French. He wasn't even alive when his Pontas was sent, which is crazy. And yet he recognized the sickness of the line, and apparently it was his dream to do it. And I can't blame the kid for thinking that way because, yeah, just one look at it and you're like, whoa, that's pretty fucking cool. It's cool to see that he did the jump 6 times, which is wild. He devoted 12 sessions to the route, took 2 trips to Mallorca and sent while wearing a chalk pad that had been signed for him by Sharma years and years ago to just kind of complete the whole symbolism thing. It's lovely. All right, next we got another repeat of Sleepwalker. Again, this time from Luke Gerhardt, who kind of was able to use a little bit of a different beta design, which is pretty cool, admittedly. You know, getting kind of tired of the whole Sleepwalker thing and basically sleepwalking through talking about it. Why did I just make that joke? It's not even funny. Also, okay, look, he did a move to the sloper in a weird way. He skipped a bunch of stuff. It doesn't really matter. Look, wildly enough, this is his first ever 8C plus V16 boulder, but he's also only ever sent another 8C, which is Pegasus in Joe's Valley, done by Noah Wheeler not too long ago, which makes the whole opinion on this boulder's grade that he gave kind of interesting, because while he did take the 8C plus points, he does talk in his post about how he could possibly see Sleepwalker as 8C V15 instead of V16, which, I mean, look, it's the most repeated 8C plus boulder in the world by quite a bit. That could very much be a result of its insane popularity, or it could be that it's soft. I've heard some rumblings about certain holds getting better and better over the years with brushing, what with all the traffic that boulder keeps receiving, and the fact that it's soft as hell sandstone. It's not unheard of. I mean, just personal experience here, but like if you've ever heard of the boulder Zarzamora in Albarracin, it's one of the more famous ones there. But yeah, that thing was, it was 8A years and years ago. When I did it, it was 7C. Last time I went to Albarra, it felt more like easy 7B. So from 8A to 7C because of a beta change, sure, but then 2 full grades down because of brushing and traffic, because it's one of the most popular boulders in the forest. Like, yeah, I can see that. Nacho Sanchez, you know, that Nacho Sanchez, the guy that got one of the first repeats of Monkey Wedding, who's done various 8C plus boulders, he had trouble holding onto the Zarzamora slopers when it was first sent, something like 15 or more years ago. Now, them boys are jogs, dude. Personal anecdote and all aside, yeah, sandstone is super freaking soft, and people aren't really gentle with their brushes. And brushing can make holds better or worse. Could it have been harder when J Bobo XXL Big Boy Web Express did it? Possibly. Someone would have to go and ask him, and I don't know him, so I won't, but like, you know, seriously, someone ask him, and then send him back to Red Rock so he can verify if that shit got easier. Actually, someone get Woods to go back down there. I feel like Daniel Woods would be a lot more savage about the whole thing if it really turns out the holds have gotten better. Could be interesting. And speaking of big boys, Jimmy Webb, not Daniel Woods. Anyways, Matt Fultz is finally back. Dude's been injured. He's been injured emotionally too, which, whatever that means. Seems like he's feeling better, which is always very nice, as he's just done an FA in Idaho. The 8C V17 boulder problem, Risible. And, okay, I have some thoughts. Look, okay, the boulder is sick. It's full value. Matt says the rock quality is awesome, and I will tend to believe him. The moves are super cool, and it's got a no holds barred jump at the end that you best be very, very, very sure about, because that is a pretty big, kind of scary fall. But risible, I hate that word. Just a personal preference here, but like the phonetics, just they don't friggin' match the stupid meaning to me. Like, I think something is risible and I'm thinking it's bad stuff. It's awful, it's hateable. And yet risible means laughable, like in a good way. Like it makes you laugh, like it's funny. Fucking the word risible is what's really risible. Why am I like this? Like, no one asked for my opinion here, but the worst word in the English language is peruse, by the way. It's so stupid. It means to read carefully and to not read carefully at all. Same word, totally opposite meanings, both are true. Fuck, it's stupid, it's useless. The meanings cancel each other out. Dumbass things shouldn't even exist. I perused some books at the library. Yeah? How long were you in there for? 15 minutes or 5 hours? We don't know. Climbing. I'm supposed to be talking about, why am I talking about words? I'm supposed to be talking about climbing. Matt Fultz did the climbing. His wife gave him all the gentle encouragement he needed, as he always does. Go watch the video of this thing if you haven't. It's cool. I need to move on. My ADHD is becoming a fucking problem. And then let's talk about Jorge Diaz Rullo sending the 9A 515A route pink Patatas in Catalonia. Not super sure where that is, but it seems it's close-ish to Margalef. So yeah, let's just go ahead and say Margalef. That was ambiguous. I know where Catalonia is. I just didn't know where pink Patatas was, if that makes sense. Anyways, this is the second repeat of pink Patatas, with Alex Megos getting the FA and Tom Bolger getting the second. And yeah, not much else to say, honestly. It's like weird conglomerate rock, which in Spain, we call those patatas, which means potatoes. So I'm assuming the name's got something to do with that. Gotta go and hold some pink potatoes. Anywho, well done, Jorge, who's only really been in Catalonia for a few days, so that was a pretty freaking fast send. Good on him. Moving on. Yeah, more stuff. Cesar Grosso has just climbed his very first 8C boulder. This dude is from Brazil, which just yet again goes to show that whatever the hell has been happening down there is freaking working. Man, what a year for Brazilians, honestly. Not only is this an ultra impressive ascent, but to make things even better for the hopes and dreams that I have for the future of my climbing, because let's face it, I'm white, I'm the host of a YouTube show, and I'm a man. Like, you know, if I don't make everything about me, what am I even doing? But the guy is 41, which means that I can too climb that hard in 10 years if I get my shit together and stop drinking beer. Or maybe I'll get halfway to 8C, because I'm not giving up beer. It's just not happening, okay? Just don't even stop, just whatever. Anyways, massive congratulations to Cesar on that send, dude. Shit's huge. Amazing stuff. And finally, let's talk Burden of Dreams again. So there are currently 3 people working on this thing. All 3 are Japanese climbers, and all 3 have sent perfect replicas of the boulder before. Those 3 are Makoto Yamauchi, who has been live streaming his sessions on YouTube. Links down there to his channel if you'd like to watch. Ritsu Kayotani, and apparently also Tomoe Narasaki. So okay, all of these guys have had incredible first few sessions on this thing. I don't know about Tomoe, we didn't really see him on it. He was just kind of like chilling, but that's not really surprising, seeing as how they've already set near perfect replicas. The question on everyone's minds though is, had they flashed, would that count? And I think it's pretty simple to say, you'd likely have to come up with a new word. Like, okay, so a flash is when you send something first go. In order for something to be a flash, you can't have pulled onto any of the holes, but you can touch them. by definition, a flash on something like the attention or the kilter board, where the overwhelming majority of us have pulled on all of the holes before, doesn't exist. Yes, positions are different, moves are different, but we know the holds, we know how to grab them, we know everything about them. So while we call board climb sends on the first go a flash, they just aren't, technically speaking. They're just first go sends. Extending that to rock, for example, Nacho Sanchez, I can't believe I'm talking about him again. He flashed Wild Wild West, an 8B boulder problem in La Pedriza back in 2021. That boulder is the same one where Adamandro tried to flash Charlotte in this video. This one right here. It's a boulder with a ton of problems and different link-ups. It's one of the most legendary and classic 8As in Spain is on that boulder. It's called Far West. The thing is, Nacho never climbed any of the boulder problems in that cave. Didn't even pull on them once in the 15 or more years that cave has been established, because he wanted to save his specific go for his 8B flash, a day where he could flash, and he didn't climb in that cave specifically because he knew that doing so would invalidate a flash if he managed to do it. Now, if problems sharing holds but with wildly different moves is enough to negate a flash simply because you've pulled off the ground before, then in my view, 3D printed replicas that are so insanely precise, yeah, those are enough to negate a flash too. And you can talk about differences in material, minute differences in wall angle, but to me, those differences are big enough to matter, but about as big as the difference you'd feel on a day-to-day basis depending on conditions like humidity and temperature. And we don't give ourselves secondary flash tries because you were too dumb to wait for humidity to go down on a climb, so you were slips and sliding and every which way when you could have just pulled on and stuck instead on a colder day. So yeah, that's my thoughts. There's not a flash. There's no such thing as a true flash on a board. We need a new word, or to just call it, a first go send, and that's that. Either way, will be really cool to see us get 3 quick fire sends of Burden. Will probably happen any day now. So yeah, keep a lookout for that. But hey, that was some climbing news. Thanks as always for watching. Don't forget to do the YouTube thing and like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff, especially if you're liking these updates and want more. It helps me out a ton and all that. But yeah, man, I will see you guys on Friday at the latest. But until then, and as always, go climb some stuff.